The most important thing that you can do in your life right now is to find your purpose. Because if you don't have a purpose, if you don't have a sense of why on why you're waking up, why you're going through all the hard times right now, then you'll never be able to make it out of it, and you'll never be able to truly live. So in today's video, we're going over how to actually find your purpose when your life feels completely pointless. Now, before we dive into the depths of the video, I'm gonna go over my favorite quote of all time from my favorite anime of all time, which is Berserk. And that is that men live and die by their dreams. But long after they have been abandoned, they still smolder deep in men's hearts. Some see nothing more than life and death. They are dead, for they have no dreams. Now, what this quote means to me is that if you don't have a sense of purpose, a dream, something to live for, then you've already died. Your physical body has died way before you have, and you need to find that dream and that purpose for yourself. So that's what we're doing in this video today. Because all life is, guys, it's suffering. But to survive in the suffering, we need to find meaning in the suffering in order to keep enduring it and to keep moving out of it. Because man must have meaning in his life in order to go on. Because if he doesn't have a solid enough purpose or a deep enough sense of why, he falls into pleasure and he loses himself. Because guys, you've probably heard this before, but a man that has a why to live can bear almost any how. So if you can find that deep enough sense of purpose, that goal that you have for yourself, you can easily overcome any adversity, any obstacles that come up in your way, because you have a why to actually get around it and to make it to the other side. Because if you don't have a deep enough sense of why, if you can't see your goal, then you'll give up immediately right when things start to get hard. And guys, the reason most people don't have a sense of purpose or a reason to live right now is because there's this great existential vacuum in this day and age within our generation. Because this is another quote I'll go over right now, and that's from the movie that I can't really talk about, but the quote goes like, "We have no great war, no great depression. Our great war is a spiritual war. Our great depression is our lives." Now, that's probably my second favorite quote of all time as well, is that right now, we don't have any wars that we're fighting. There's no great depression. Economy's not that bad. Our great war that we're going through right now in this day and age is that people don't know what their purpose is. They don't know why they want to live. They don't know what they really want. And that's the great depression of pretty much everyone's lives, is that they are just kind of not living with purpose and not going through life like it's like they're gonna die. They're living like they're immortal and never going after what they truly want. And this feeling of pointlessness is the driving factor for many of these things listed below: depression, boredom, aggression, addiction, power, and pleasure. Each and every single one of these is a replacement for not having a purpose. It's kind of like it's filling the void of not knowing what your deep enough purpose is. And most of these are very fleeting. I think all of them are. Because I mean, with the depression, if you don't know what you want, you're always gonna be sitting in bed wondering, why are you alive? Why are you doing what you're doing? You're gonna be very depressed and feel very bad. And all of these stem from not having a deep enough purpose, a deep enough sense of why on why you're waking up and why you're going through your day-to-day life. And the reality is, guys, I mean, most men fall into two different categories. The first one being conformism. You're doing what others are doing. Let's just say you're with your friends, your family. 99% of them are going to university, and guess what? You're gonna do the exact same thing because you're conforming to their ideals and to their purpose, their dreams, if they even have one. So you're just conforming and being like everyone else, like the sheep of the world. And then second up, totalitarianism, something like that. But you're doing as others wish you do. So let's just say your parents are telling you to go to college, go work this 9 to 5 because it's the safest route you can take, and it's the only path that's best for you right now, and you're listening to them. That's exactly what this is. You're doing as others wish you to do. So, I mean, with these two different categories, you're not able to find your true sense of purpose because you're doing what everyone else either is doing or they want you to do. So, you might be asking yourself now, like, okay, well, if these two aren't the best things, then what is the meaning of life? Like, what is my purpose? Well, let's go ahead and dive into asking the best chess player in the world this exact question. what is the best move to make on the chessboard? Now, when you ask this chess master, this chess grandmaster of the world, he won't be able to give you an answer. And the reason is there is no best move. It entirely depends on the situation on the chessboard that determines what the best move at the time is. Because I don't really know chess that well, but if you move like the pawn to a certain area on the board, like that might be the best move at the time, but then a checkmate later on down the line might be the best move at the time then. So there really is no answer in terms of like what the best move on the chessboard is, and that's exactly correlated into real life as well. So now we're going to come back to your purpose. Your purpose changes from minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, year to year. Each and every single situation, you have a different purpose for that situation. And within every single person on this earth, every single person has their own unique purpose or dream. But when you conform to others, when you live for other people, you're building out their dreams, you're succumbing to their dreams, and you lose yours in the process, and that's when you lose yourself as well. And when you guys are asking yourself like what the purpose of life is, like what's the meaning for you waking up to go through all these struggles, you shouldn't be asking life what the meaning is. The thing is, man is the one who is asked by life what the true meaning of everything is. And the only way you can answer to life like what the purpose is and what reality is by being fully responsible for your actions and for your life. So you might be wondering to yourself, okay, well, how do I be responsible? How can you answer to life what the meaning of it all is, like what the purpose is? And there's a few things you can do. Number one is creating a work, which just means a career that you really love, that you always wanted to do, but you're so scared to go after. Maybe creating that business, maybe going out there in the world to start living on your terms, just creating a work for yourself. Or doing a deed, maybe donating to a charity, maybe saving someone, maybe going to the army, something like that. And doing a deed that's so great that deeply kind of defines who you are, and it's kind of having that inner calling from within you to go do that deed. And then number two is experiencing something or encountering someone. So with experiencing something, that's just like the culture, nature, the beauties of the world, being able to experience that'll give you a deep enough sense of purpose. Or encountering someone, maybe your true love, maybe a girl, maybe a guy that you really have been always longing to meet. And once you guys meet, you guys are like soulmates and you guys create this whole big business or something like that. And with encountering someone, encountering the right person will be able to change your life. So going out there and trying to experience something and meeting people, that's the best thing you can do. And then the third way you can answer is by having the attitude, the positive mental attitude towards unavoidable suffering. Because if you have the right attitude towards suffering, which will happen whether you like it or not, that suffering won't be suffering anymore. It'll just be a part of life. And you can either kind of change that personal tragedy into a lifetime of failure, or you can turn that personal tragedy into a triumph. Because all life is, guys, is turning a human predicament into an achievement. Because when you're faced with a situation that you can no longer change, you are challenged to change yourself. And that just goes into, I'll kind of go into a personal example for me. So I came out here to Bangkok, Thailand with $1,500 to my name, went flat broke. And I couldn't change that situation, so I had to change myself. I had to find a way to become that new person that was able to get me out of that situation. Now guys, I'm gonna give you the ultimate life hack. That's an ultimate cheat code to life. Right now, pretend that you've already died, and right now is the second chance you have to fix all the parts where you fucked up. So what I mean by that is, let's just say you've already lived your life that you're living right now all the way to the end. You've already died, but now you've kind of went back in the past to the current moment that you're in, and you have a second chance to do it all over again. And that's a very good cheat code because you can kind of get to see like the finite of it all, the finality of like what the choices you make end up, like what will kind of happen in your entire life. And you get to condense it into like a kind of a book. Because right now, most people, they're living like they have all the time in the world. They have the infinite time on their hands to be able to do what they want. But once you condense that into a very short period of time, you get to feel a sense of urgency And you also get to see the finality of all the decisions that you make to see where your life ends up. And guys, I mean, the thing that most people are doing out here in like Bali, Bangkok, they're looking for a meaning within themselves, doing breath work, meditating, doing all these things to try to look inside. They're taking shrooms, psychedelics to try to find meaning within. But the more you try to look within, the more you miss the mark on what it all actually means. Because the only way to reach self-actualization is it's only possible through self-transcendence. And what that means is the more that you give to others or to your goals, your dreams, your purpose, the more you get to see who you really are. Not from meditating, not from taking shrooms, not from looking in the mirror, but by going out in the world and leaving your mark. So guys, that's pretty much everything for the video. I do want to finish with this. A man that has a why to live can bear almost any how. So keep that in your mind as you guys go through your day. As long as you have a deep enough purpose, you'll be able to make it through any how, as long as you know why you want to bear that pain, that suffering, and go through that obstacle to get to the other side. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.